This is a frog farm. Frogs hold a place in world cuisine, especially in Asia where they are consumed a lot. For this purpose, frogs are raised in farms every day, similar to livestock. Once they reach maturity, they are collected and sold to markets. Whether or not you want to try the frog dishes you might encounter in many restaurants is up to you. This man decides to shave off the beard he has been growing for years. Like any man who shaves, he first tries out different styles and then presents himself to his family. His children had never seen him like this before, and it was certain that the others had also forgotten what he looked like without a beard. This seemingly enjoyable process pertains to the planting and harvesting of rice, which holds a place on our tables. During rice harvesting, the fields are usually flooded to protect the plants from insects, and the mature rice is then harvested. Besides Asia, rice is also surprisingly a staple food source in Africa. How to remove a rusty screw? To remove a rusty screw that's giving us trouble, we need to reshape it. First, we drill a hole in the screw's body, then use a tool that fits into that hole to remove the screw, and finally, we breathe a sigh of relief. In the past, vacuum cleaners looked like this and were quite difficult to use. Until they evolved into their modern form, vacuum cleaners were operated manually and were not considered essential household items. If technology hadn't advanced, we might still be using these machines today. Eb Zonderland falls during his routine, a type of accident that would force many athletes to withdraw from the competition. However, Eb gathers his courage and continues his performance. Amidst the applause of the audience, he completes his routine, leaving behind a remarkable display of bravery. These mesmerizing horses are called akaltik and are bred in Turkmenistan. Known for their speed, endurance, and intelligence, these horses are also famed for their metallic sheen. Their shiny coats have earned them the nickname Golden Horses, and they are considered to be one of the oldest horse breeds in existence. One of the world's most unusual sports might be this one. Competitors are tied together with a rope at the nose, and they tug at it, testing their strength, while their noses contort into various shapes. Afterwards, a rope mark remains on their nose for a while. Playing games in space, astronaut Alexander Serebrov holds the title of being the first person to play a game in space. On July 1st, 1993, he turned on the Game Boy he had brought with him and started playing Tetris. This makes Tetris the first game ever played in space. Scoring by throwing the racket. During an Olympic match, Alexander Bublik hurls his racket at a ball he couldn't reach, and to everyone's surprise, he scores a point. Both he and his opponent laugh. Have you ever seen such a move in tennis before? The Devilish Bug Trap. The YouTuber, famous for setting traps for mice and lizards, this time catches a bug in his trap. As usual, the bug triggers the sensor and soon finds itself getting pummeled. The world's highest bridge is located in China. This incredible bridge stands 565 meters above the ground, the equivalent height of a 200-story building. Constructed in just 3 years, it cost a staggering $150 million and connects to provinces in China. It's truly spine-chilling, isn't it? From this angle, everything seems perfectly normal, but when we turn it upside down, it's as if the whole world turns upside down along with the image. It looks like an illusion, and who knows how many years of training it took to perform these movements. The man who broke records with his mouth. Rocky Stoutenberg, a gamer, was paralyzed after an accident in 2006. A few years later, his life changed when his brother brought him a device designed for people with disabilities that could be controlled by the mouth. Being a former video game enthusiast, Rocky started using the device and gained experience over the years. By 2022, he set a record for winning the most Fortnite victories using this device. The man who started the Mexican wave, the wave, which emerged during the 1986 World Cup held in Mexico and involved the entire stadium regardless of team affiliation, has been performed by spectators at almost every major event since then. In this video, we come across one of the men who initiated the wave. Typically, this would be done by a group, but he managed to do it on his own. This artist truly brings wood to life. Starting with carving an ordinary tree trunk with a knife, the artist then moves on to the finer details. After carefully attending to every point, they create a masterpiece that anyone would want to display in a corner of their home. Isn't it beautiful? What is invisibility paint? Objects painted with a paint known as masu black become so black that they absorb almost all light, rendering them devoid of any details. However, there is an even more advanced version of this paint, known as Vantablack, which has a light absorption capacity of 99.96%. This artist has an incredible talent. He first brings an ordinary stone he finds outside to his home, and then he decorates every single detail with such precision that the result is truly remarkable. 11-year-old Sopie was born without arms. This characteristic hasn't distanced her from life. On the contrary, she has learned to live in harmony with herself. Sopie handles almost everything on her own in daily life. She prepares her own meals, eats by herself, and even expresses her artistic talents. This athlete achieves the impossible. Dave Waddle, one of the favorites in the 800-meter race at the 1972 Olympics, faced an unexpected challenge. Early in the race, an old injury flared up, causing him to have a poor start. At that moment, he had two choices: to quit the race or to push himself to continue. He chose the latter and accomplished something rarely seen in the Olympics. One by one, he overtook his competitors and finished first. This victory was much more than just an ordinary Olympic gold. How do these sculptures stay suspended in the air? An artist named Bruno Catalano is famous for this type of sculpture, and the places where he installs them almost instantly become popular. These sculptures, which appear to be merged with the air and partially eaten away, are connected at very thin points and attract attention with their extraordinary design. Everyone wants to cool off. This cow is no exception, trying to escape the sweltering heat. After making a graceful leap into the pool, it tries to befriend the kids, but when they get scared, the cow ends up enjoying the pool alone. Horses' teeth are floated, but why? You might have seen horses being shoed and groomed, but you probably haven't seen their teeth being floated. Over the years, horses' teeth wear down and chewing becomes difficult. In such cases, the sharp and jagged parts need to be carefully filed down. The world's deepest gold mine, the Mponeng mine in South Africa, has been excavated to a depth of 4 kilometers. Up to 8,000 tons of gold are extracted from this mine each year. Enormous machines are used to transport the excavated material, and this deep mine alone provides 16% of the gold extracted annually worldwide. The world's deepest pool is located in Italy. This pool, known as Y40, has a depth of 40 meters, with 21 meters of it dug underground. It hosts various shows and has become one of the top spots for divers to gain experience. However, it sends chills down the spines of those with a fear of depths. This man, famous for creating electronic traps, must have gotten quite tired of lizards to set up such a mechanism. The lizard that falls into the trap gets a good warning and then gets beaten up. After this, it will have to think twice. Did you know that bees sleep during the day? Bees that work hard and are older take half-hour naps both during the day and at night because it helps their memory. Considering how much they work, it might seem like they sleep very little. This boy drinking 100 liters of water with a single strand of hair. Previously, the content creator known as Sonic, who has drunk 50 liters of water with a toothpick, licked a giant lollipop for hours, and watched a bamboo grow for hours, is now attempting to drink 100 liters of water with just one strand of hair. Do you think this is possible? This highway uses electricity. In experiments aimed at extending electric highways, which are used in many countries on urban roads, to long-distance routes, trucks are equipped with conductors on their roofs to receive electricity. This allows them to travel long distances with almost no refueling. Do you think this method will work? The first toothbrush was a human's own finger. The Babylonians and ancient Egyptians used chewing sticks. The Chinese refined this stick by thinning its tip, leading to the creation of the toothpick. In the early 15th century, they invented the first toothbrush by threading pig bristles through thin holes in bones or bamboo branches. As the toothbrush spread from China to Europe, horsehair replaced pig bristles. For toothpicks, they used the tips of bird feathers. In 1780, William Otis invented the first modern toothbrush. With the invention of plastic, the bristles of toothbrushes began to be made from plastic.